Yeah, I made my video, and then they went right back to doing that. Those who are hanging on my every word and action. The ones with the high-tech toys that stole all of my Mormon imagery from my folders. So some have returned. The good guys with high-tech toys putting it back, but yesterday was Sunday. And not only did they steal that, they on hand. Maybe when I go to the doctor's office tomorrow, I'm assuming while I was out getting pills up at CVS or across the street there at Target, that's when they stole all the Mormon imagery. The one about Jared and Jacob on their mission, and Jared or the other one says, Jared, do you think we'll get in trouble being involved in one Stone Cold and Milton impersonator? I don't have that in the image, I don't think, but being involved in religious censorship in America, do you think we'll get in trouble? And Jacob says, no, the devil assured me that acting in his name to do his evil bidding, something that's been a while since it's perfectly alright. That was stolen. The Mormon Semper Fi, check and post when the Mormons interrupt your family's dinner, that was stolen. It has a habit of reappearing in other locations when it is stolen from the... I wouldn't... You want to see something stolen right now? See your piece of fun stolen when you try to call me, 424-229-4140, and you don't know when else that lifeline won't be allowed to work because of what the Mormons, the Latter-day Sinners. Yes, the guys from Utah, proud of that title, LDS, Jesus Christ of LDS, Latter-day Sinners. For April, oh, that's my birthday month. I always got confused with December. I don't know why. But Dad would tell me, you know, your birthday with the tree, son, not the eggs. Oh, April 5th, if you're looking. But back to my little parable to keep my slideshow, my computer working. I mean, literally, I had to hit 9-10 times to get it to work. Made the video and processed for, only need one with that. I like to separate the numbers. Made the video for 20 minutes and made a lot of good points. It'll be in tomorrow's YouTube.com. So that's the NFT series one. And then went right back to this. I hope to finish before 20 minutes so I can do a little more work, eat my spaghetti, and tomorrow I gotta go to a doctor. Yeah, it's he's in infectious disease stuff, and Dr. Allerman, the heart guy, was telling me about the wounds. Might be an infection of the bone, and one of the infectious disease guy to look at it, and yeah, this is still here. It's been around for a few days, and yeah, it's a third nipple. What? I'm trying to lose them like a bad habit. I don't need a third nipple, but that's where I gotta go tomorrow. The infectious disease guy, and he, the heart doctor had talked about maybe taking oral antibiotics, you know, pill form or something for a while, a year. I forget what exactly he said, but I'll see how that goes tomorrow. Because the wounds, the big wounds that are, as they remarked in the Good Samaritan, are very clean. Yeah, they're not bed sores. They're not pressure kind of wounds. They're I lost 80 pounds in 1 month before I went into the Good Samaritan Hospital. I always thought it was kind of ironic that I went in there after working for the Saudi Arabian city by the sea, Santa Monica, to working for them for from 2007 through 2014, 7 years, around there, 6.5, 7 years. After working for them for that long, living literally hand to mouth, all my money going for rent at Hussein Salute Arabia. Don't get me started on that. And then 6 blocks east of the tallest thing in LA. Living hand to mouth, not having money for much else to do much else. Food. At that precise 2-month period where Santa Monica had turned the as-needed position with no benefits, less hours, and less pay, turned it into a full-time position. Meaning more hours, working for the farmers market, and better pay, benefits, actual city position. That's when I ended up. You could see for like a couple months before the wounds on my hands and I got it here. I want to take it to the doctor because let me see if I can find it. After a couple months, it dragged me down. I'd learned to force feed myself when I didn't feel like eating. But you could see those on the look at my YouTubes on ChristComplexLinks.blogspot.com. One of them should have it, and yes, there was that big wound in the back that showed up while I was laid up in my bed. Yes, that's the one that my little stormtrooper at the nice nurse or doctor liked to take the photos of, and I'd turn around and she wore this big visor, and yeah, it'd be all steamed up. They got a lot of photos there. I got a lot of photos somewhere of it closed and then opened back up again, and then closed again. Actually closed as a visiting nurse here at Eagle Rock. Put the bandage on, put the cream on, silver sulfide, I think. But yeah, I always thought that was ironic that that happened at that very precise time. And yeah, they always thought it was funny at the Santa Monica Farmers Market and Santa Monica city employees in general that I, as a homeless man, I was literally as I was handing out flyers for the Sunday market. I was living on the street, living in the night shelters. I went from what is that called? Mental block. Salvation Army in Monroe, Louisiana, to living on the streets for a while. There was night shelters at night, and then I got into the Weingart Center, which is another shelter. It's just these days, during the day, you get a room or a dorm. But they always thought it funny that a homeless man was working for the city of Santa Monica for the farmers market through the Department of Housing and Economic Development. Jody Lowe, in particular, thought that was hilarious. She shows up on my caller ID. So does Laura Avery. And yeah, even though they thought it was funny, they did when some folks either as I got these as LA City paramedics or posing as them. They didn't have the uniforms I usually see outside. And I was living at 6 Blocks East, the tallest thing in LA at the time. And quite often they're in Skid Row. A few blocks away where the Weingart Center is. Yeah, I saw a lot, and they didn't have that. It's a salt and pepper team, and the pepper was very concerned about my posters telling America how to check and post in 5. And they didn't do their job. They left me to die in that apartment, room 433, and Laura Avery came to my rescue. I didn't see her. I talked to her and Jody Lowe and that for a while. And she showed up, knocked on the door, and I literally couldn't get out of the bed. It's been a few days at least since I was able to get out of the bed. Sense of balance gone, as always when I'm feeling particularly bad and forcing myself to eat. And she had to go get the clerk to open up the door, and yeah, so I didn't even see her come in the apartment. I do know that when I woke up in the Good Samaritan, my wallet was gone. Wallet was gone. The phone turned up later at the apartment, but the wallet was gone, the cash was gone, the credit card was gone. Actually, I think I had a couple of credit cards. Never used them. It's to rebuild credit. And driver's license and California ID were gone. I've gotten the ID. I just renewed them just before I went to the hospital, so I've got the old driver's license somewhere. I just don't do much driving. I only had it to drive the Santa Monica Farmers Market truck back and forth to the Sunday market with signs and stuff. But yeah, I always thought that was very ironic. Remember to ask the city of Santa Monica, how do you reach this man by phone? They called me not only up until I went in the hospital, but afterwards at the convalescent hospital from hell. How do you reach this man by phone when I can't? That's my family's lifeline. Good folks aren't going to have a problem with you demonstrating America's Hijack Lifeline, your child's Hijack Lifeline too. Bad folks are going to get angry. They're going to have a story to tell. That's why I tell you, because of this, check and post around Lori and San Juan. They have called up. Decade I've been out here, have called up at least once a year to talk me about my Gates livelihood and Hijack Lifeline. It's your Gates livelihood too. I can't remember what I put in the last one to get the computer to work here, and what's in this one, but. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me at 424-229-4140, make a video of it. Post it to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, 100 more. You make a video of 2 crimes, yes. Your Gates livelihood, your Hijack Lifeline, your Hijack religious expression as well. Whatever you get when you don't get me, it may be boring, but it's not going to be boring if you need to fire me, police, paramedics. So make that video, post that video, download those big files. I'll see if I can show it to you again. Find them at youtube.com/DNFD series. Look for the links up at the top. You can also find them at ChristComplex2.wixsite.com/Daffodilia, DAFFODILIA. Yes, it's a 2, the digit 2, the number 2. ChristComplex2.wixsite.com/Daffodilia. And you can go find my heart there, up at the top, heart icon. hit that heart, and you're going to see what I designed today. Oh, a nice one. Funny palm and some kind of a pine tree and some kind of flowering tree or bush. I took it's, if you know where Whitmer, the bus stop is, you walk down a side street there, and there it is, that tree combination. Check it out, ChristCompost2.wixsite.com/Davidelia. By tomorrow, it'll be one set of images behind. But you hit the heart, that's where it takes you. You go to the bottom, you hit the box, take a walk through Melton's imagery, and I noticed yesterday that it's only got a few months from 2017. You have to look on 2000. I switched flickers, I ran out of space. You have to look somewhere on the flickers. I probably got it, but it's not in Take a Walk. Let me see if I can fix that, if I can think of it. I'm one man working alone here. I'm in a wheelchair. I've got the sins of mankind ones dragging me down. But, yeah, up at the top you hit the two boxes that are pointing at each other. And one's going to take you to a Flickr, just like on the YouTube. One's going to take you to a Google Drive. And I'm working, I'm down to March 2013. And this is, of course, is 2012. I'm preparing. We'll get to that by the end of the week for sure, despite going to the doctor tomorrow. But this is how I prepare my imagery. 2012. See, I take all of these things, and they. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, let me go over here. 2065 by 1500. I use that 2400 by 1600 backdrop, so that imagery does not get. Oh, damn. Water and power must be here. Turned off my damn computer. I use that, good thing I got a flashlight over here. Yeah, I was in the middle of designing imagery and 6 Blocks East, and they knocked the power off. Forget which one it was. But yeah, someone didn't like me showing you that. Like I said, they hang on my every word and action. But it's 2400 by 1600. The backdrop, small star flowers. These have been cut out. These are the 5s I tell you about. They also come in 4 to a 4x6 print. And yeah, I can't use my fast tone now because the same folks who just turned that off. And don't worry, my work comes from the top. There'll be a new set of them in tomorrow. Like I said, they hang on my every word. But my work comes from the top, and I'll be making these, putting those 1500 by 20, however 1500 is. I used to use the fast tone because it makes much more sharper, a much more sharper low def stuff or high def stuff, whichever you're doing. But that's 1500 up and down that way, and however many it works out to. I would do that. I'd use the fast tone, and it would keep it from being bigger than 300, which gives you that little edge up at the top this way. There are very few that have that problem. And I'd also have the it would go through them all. And Chinese assholes, in case you've heard me talk about them, in the way of Jesus' Immaculate House here on earth, deadless Buddhists. They don't like you doing that. For the longest time, the batch editor on my Photoscape wouldn't work at all, and now it works, but it depends. It's not like on a set program or something. Sometimes 144 is all that you can process at the time, then you got to go back in, and sometimes you miss some as you go through like 500, 600. Faststone would do them all at once and do them very well. Come see the Handsome Bald Guy in person and have a backup generator. They say they got one here, but I think it's only used to turn off the electricity. It's happened before for a brief instant to stop that. But yeah, I separate. I decide depending on the color scheme, and that would go with any color scheme, of course, but what will look best with my artist's eye in each of these, which backgrounds I want. And hold on a good example, because oh, here we go. Here's star flowers. And then I separated them in that, and then I got a low def again, so I got the thumbnails because I can't have the long titles. It's a long story. Chinese assholes. The ones that just turned off the lights. I put them on here. Nice stars for this. You'll get your blue eyes back some. And I have to go into the, once I've separated what I was just showing you, title and the folders there. Once I've separated, I go in and you'll get a nice, the thumbnails, once loaded up to like 300 width, they will work quite well. As telling you what the title is, just look for what's there, and I don't always put them on. You might be able to find it on the Google Drive. But I separate them and then put them on the background, which you can cut off or leave. It's up to you. But check and post in 5 in front of those folks. Let me end this. Make sure some nice laminated. Even the 5s will laminate. Go for a 4x6, 4 to a 4x6 produce. We'll let you carry around in a wallet. You find somebody doesn't know about their Gates livelihood or hijack lifeline. You make that video, you post it. Whatever their phone gets. When you don't get me, tell them it's not going to be boring. You need the firemen, police, paramedics, and it is definitely money out of your pocket. Your Gates livelihood. Make the video, post the video, come see me in person. We'll travel. And yes, that would be California's crooked cops turning off the lights in the middle of me processing my videos. Yes, hanging on my every word and action. That would be them. So make that video of your hijack call tuning. In between those 2 big screen TVs, one with 9/11 footage, whatever you consider to be fake news, on the other, and you call up every cop. Good Cops Across America, you get every California cop's phone number, and you call them up in between those big screen TVs. Check and post in 5. Oh, Merry Christmas. Ask them. You don't like being disturbed at your home? Go figure. Stone Cold doesn't like being disturbed either. He doesn't like his work being disturbed as well. And you ask him, Officer so-and-so. You give them the name, they give them their badge number so that you know. Good Cops Across America got the numbers for you. And ask him, what do you know about this? The man's been asking for 93 checks for 9 years in your state. State troopers, worst offenders, because you expect LA City and LA County to be Hollywood, not state troopers. What do you know about this Flight 93 checks? What do you know about Stone Cold Melton? John Melton Brady, son of a carpenter. What do you know about him? What do you know about him not getting 193 check and lots of Americans having video proof of those dangerous folks put Hussein in our White House altering phone records? What do you know about that officer so-and-so? If they don't know anything, ask them. That seems odd in your line of work. Are you involved? That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Caught on video. Or are you incompetent? Get their reactions and post. Every single cop, call them when they're going to those ATMs. Some of you know what I'm talking about and can time it. Made a funny video about that yesterday, day before. Good cops, good military, come to California posing as every citizen in America, asking about Stone Cold, and get those dangerous folks wearing guns on their hips they don't deserve to wear, and badges on their chest they sure the hell shouldn't be wearing. Get them on Sting videos, and yes, your phone's a Sting equipment. In case you run out of stuff in your technology locker, because everyone's checking, posting at 5 and getting dirty cops of California to a man, to a woman on video, implicating themselves in Phonegate, something much worse than Watergate. Have Woodwood travel while you're out here doing that. It's the only perfect place to build. Jesus, it's a immaculate house here on earth. Best people to start building with. Do it today.